Welcome to another episode of Roundtable Radio, live on the scene. Today I'm joined with Anthony McPhee as we're going to be unpacking his very prestigious award, the Louis Marchesi. He's also going to do a little bit of a deep dive into his table career and what kept him motivated to table for over 20 years. Stay tuned as we dive right into our interview with Anthony McPhee. Giving up your time in your 20s must have been extremely difficult. Tell us, what kept you motivated to keep on tabling?
So I was first introduced to Roundtable, I think it was in 1998. The first project I was exposed to was actually the Roundtable bed race back in 1998, and strangely enough it was actually my girlfriend at the time's father, who was a past area chairman. He, as a 41er, introduced me to Roundtable and told me about all of the benefits, and me wanting to impress my girlfriend's dad at the time, I decided, no, let me go and see what this Roundtable thing's all about. Members at the time actually were quite surprised when I stood up under General and expressed my appreciation for the organisation and what they offered, and that it was something that I wanted to be involved in.
Let's speak about the treble. Charity, fellowship, and business networking. Which would you say drew you to keep on tabling?
I think to begin with, fellowship was a very big draw card, and then charity was a nice bonus part of Roundtable. But as your career changes, as you develop through Roundtable, I certainly think that your reasons for being involved change and develop as well.
Congratulations on all your dedication and commitment towards Roundtable Southern Africa. Why don't you tell our listeners about another one of your highlights that kept you motivated to table?
Joining Table at the age of 20, not many of my peers were interested in that sort of thing. Actually, none of my peers were interested in that sort of thing. But I was able to relate with the guys in Roundtable. My fellow members and the idea of giving back was very important for me. And to be able to do that in a safe environment with the fellowship associated with it, it was always a great experience. And as I got more and more involved, Roundtable became a part of my life. And it became so important for me to reach that realm of 41erdom.
How do you think that Roundtable has evolved over the last 2 decades?
As the years have gone by, I've seen the development of technology through Table. When I was secretary, I still remember doing those minutes, last minute of course, and then printing them out at work and asking for permission to use the photocopy machine to make copies for all of the guys to get copies of the minutes. And now, of course, we've got email. Social media has played such a huge part in Roundtable now. Because of the Roundtable bed race, we were searching for a media partner. I knew that Mix FM were an up-and-coming radio station, so I approached the station manager and started to build a relationship with the station manager, mainly with Roundtable bed race, and then a few other projects that came along. Then an opportunity surfaced for a 1 hour, actually it was a 45-minute time slot once a week for us as Roundtable to do a show. I did think that once a week was quite a big commitment, so I discussed this with the station manager, and then we decided we'd see if the Lions wanted to get involved and alternate. So I then took a 30-minute training session on how to operate the radio switchboard. That very first show, it was myself, Ernest Lamprecht, and Leon Roux. And we did a show for 45 minutes talking about Roundtable Radio. What a phenomenal experience. And I think it's only organizations like Roundtable that give you those kinds of opportunities. It's so far away from your everyday kind of job. And there I was being a radio DJ for Roundtable. Phenomenal. But now when I look at where Roundtable Radio is heading, the guys are doing such phenomenal work with podcasts, outside broadcasts, running with Facebook Live. It's brilliant to see where they're taking it these days.
Within Roundtable, a large part of what we need to do is to run projects. Which project sticks out the most in your table career?
The most memorable project for me is probably the Roundtable bed race. A project that's probably very close to all of the members of Midrand 253. It's actually a project that started in 1996, before I even knew what Roundtable was. So my first exposure to Roundtable bed race was in 1998, and as the years grew on, I got more and more involved in the project. Tony Stock was probably the biggest driving force for the project in those early years of my involvement of Roundtable. He definitely took that project to phenomenal heights, and he handed it over to various different members as he went out as a 41er, and eventually it became my turn to run the project. Very proud moment being in charge of this. We can definitely call it a flagship project that I was in charge of. A project that has raised millions upon millions of rands and donated millions of rands worth of hospital beds to needy causes. What a phenomenal concept, and who would have thought the idea of racing a hospital bed around a motorsport racing track would be able to raise all of these funds. That's what's so amazing about Roundtable, is you come up with these novel ideas and you can do so much good with them. When it comes to projects and making them happen, if you're the person that sticks your hand up and says that you're going to do it, you then have to do it. Accountability is the most important part of Roundtable, and Roundtable taught me that at a very early stage within my career, and it's put me in excellent stead with all of my business interactions. Accountability, accountability, accountability. I can't say any more on that topic. If you say you're going to do it, do it.
Congratulations on being awarded with the Louis Marchesi Award. 20 years of service, what an absolute commitment and dedication towards Roundtable Southern Africa. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the award and what it means to you in receiving it?
We don't do it for the awards, but it's always good to get that recognition. It gives you motivation, even inspired me to go on to do bigger, better things. Roundtable has given me so much, and to be recognized by my peers with these awards is always going to be a phenomenal driving force. Louis Marchesi is the founder of Roundtable, and that's the award that I received. I received his award for 20 years service within Roundtable. Never would have thought that I would get to that milestone, but it makes me very proud to receive that award. Sadly, I wasn't able to be at ARTSA. Nobody was. There was a virtual ARTSA. Very heartwarming experience. Filled me with a lot of pride to receive such a prestigious award. I don't think there are very many people that can speak of 20 years service within Roundtable. Hell, I didn't even think I was going to make it at some stages.
Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Live on the Scene. I hope that you enjoyed this segment as much as I did, and don't forget to tune into our radio show every second Wednesday from 8 to 9 p.m. on Mix 93.8 FM.